Hume Football League, and exciting to be back. Phil Bouffler has stepped up a peg or two. Let's just say he's a busy man nowadays, from vice president to president. Phil, congratulations on your appointment as president, and how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, Wayne. So, been a bit of a step up, so I'm enjoying it. It's been pretty busy. There's always something going on, so yeah, so far so good.
And with the situation of getting started, we know that COVID-19 has been something the clubs have talked about, losing some players, isolation, where that comes both in footy and netball. How did round one go in relation to that? Was there any clubs adversely affected by it?
I think across the board most clubs would be affected with one or two, but I think Holbrook were down a reasonable amount, but they still fielded two sides. Lockhart was down. They had to forfeit the second grade. So just through the year, it's going to be a little bit problematic. So we're telling clubs that the onus is now on the individual players. So, if you don't, it's like the flu. It's not hard. If you're not feeling 100, don't go to training. Just isolate at home and then just keep it out of your club. Because if you turn up and you're not feeling 100, next thing the whole club gets it, and that's problematic. So just isolate, and it should be simple, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, and clubs can continue playing right through the season without too many effects. Let's have a look at it. Osborne continue where they left off in 2021. They came out and took Holbrook on 15-8 to 4-7. What do you read into this? Osborne are going to be good, of course.
Well, they'll be good again. Same old story. It's a bit like the sun coming up. They seem to be good most years, but Holbrook would have been a bit disappointed, but they were down a few. I spoke to their president, and he said they'd had a few missing. So whether that's a true indication, just not so sure about that. I was actually at that game, and it was a pretty good game. So Osborne just went idling along, and so we'll find out a bit more in the next couple of weeks where they're both situated, really.
Yeah, Ryan Collins with 5 and Riley Watson booted 3, and it's good to see Royce Hunter in the better players, and Matthew Rava made the best players. Gee, that is a blast from the past for Osborne in their club. What about this? CDHPU 14-11 to Henty 8-7. Are we about to see the rise of the power? Maybe even further than they came up last year. It looks like they could be a real final side this year.
Mate, I think after seeing the game last night, there could be one lot of power going downhill fairly quickly, but power over here, they're going pretty well. So they're going to be one of the big improvers this year, CDHBU. They've recruited well. They're a well-run club, and they had a big win, so they've played well. And Henty, they battled on, and but once again, we need a couple of rounds to just see where everyone's situated here.
Yeah, Corey Smith with 4, and John Pratt, the best players for the winner, and Tyson Mueller for the lineup in the red and white, and Shannon Turlich, a couple of goals. I reckon might have hit a few more runs than that in the cricket season. Jindera 18-12 beating Ranwalbundry Walla 5-6. Now, I heard your commentary last week with Jace on this, and it looks like the Giants are going to have a giant problem of a season, but Jindera have recruited a lot of players.
Jindera have been one of the big improvers with CDHBU, and Colcan, they'll be the three that'll improve, I think. Jindera, there was an article in the paper where I think they had something like there was 17 players who couldn't get a game in their first or seconds last week, so they've just got players everywhere. So it's well done to the recruiting people. They had a big win. Ranwalbundry, I think they finished 3rd last year, so they'd be very disappointed with this effort.
Oh, very much so, and a terrific performance in the end by Jindera Kalkan, 18-9 over the Murray Magpies 4-4. You probably read into that Kalkan are in some pretty good form, but the Magpies will struggle. And how long? 17-11, Lockhart 5-3. Great to see Lockhart get their seniors team out on the park, but how long too good?
But they were too good on the day. I didn't actually go to that game, but Lockhart battled on. COVID was a problem for Lockhart. They lost their second grade side pretty much late Friday. The Magpies, they had a bit of a hard season last year, the last couple of seasons, so, they've got a side out in the park and battling on. But once again, you don't really know, Wayne. There could have been some players out. I know Lockhart had, maybe there's COVID, and COVID's everywhere, so who knows. It's just, as I said, we need a couple of weeks to just find out what's going on. And, is this a trend or is it just a one-off some of these games?
Yeah, true. Brock Burham, fresh after their cricket season, fantastic performances, got their footy side out, 13-12-90. The Billabong Crows, 5-8-38. And Ronald Bolton led the way with the very good Saints, and it was well played to Spencer, booting 5, and Keith Talent with 4. Mike O'Roydian, a couple. John Simpson, pretty good and trying his heart out. How do you see the Crows this year?
Mate, I think they'll be thereabouts. There's a once again, it's hard to tell. See, the Billabong, the Saints lost to Brock Burham, lost a few players. Sedgwick was a huge loss, but they've recruited well again. So we need just another couple of rounds to just see where everyone's situated.
Yeah.
It'll be a wet track tomorrow. I can see that already up this way. So that might bring some of these teams back together a bit. So we'll just have to wait and see for another round or two. But it was a good win by the Brock Burham people.
Oh, certainly. Lockhart Oval will be a venue where a lot of folk will join. Osborne out of the paddocks, they'll come in, and it's going to be a very good game. Normally, this is where these two rivals have some ding-dong battles. Can Lockhart do anything at home to, take it to the yellow and black?
I think, to be truthful, they're going to be up against it a little bit, Lockhart, this year. They had a few initial problems. They had a lot of people left from last year. Just for various reasons. They've been there at the club a long time, and they decided to head back to Albury. It's a big impost travelling out from Albury to Lockhart, 105 Ks 2 or 3 times a week, and they'd done it for 6 or 7 years, so they lost a block of people from Albury, and now they've just got to regroup. So, you've seen it happen before. Clubs have had a year where they've sort of gone down, and they've just got to regroup and get going again, but I think Osborne will be far too strong.
Yeah, I think so too. Ramboll Bundry Waller, after last week, they get their first home deck game at Rand. How long, I think, can beat them over there?
Mate, on form, you can only go on the form of last week. That's all we've got to go on this stage, and I think how long will probably get up, unless there's been a bit of a turnaround at the Giants.
Yeah, I think so. The Billabong Crows, they have Henty, and this is at Oaklands. Can the Crows, with a good lot of recruiting, a lot of their players coming up from Yarrawonga area, how will they go against Henty, who we just mentioned last week weren't that impressive? So a real chance for the Crows to get a first win.
Well, I think they'd fancied their chances out at Oakland, so obviously a home game for them. And once again, we'll just have to see how the form lines up. This is probably one of the closer games of the round, I think, so this will be a pretty good game, this one. I think maybe I'll go the Crows and a home ground advantage.
Yeah, I tell you what, Zach Kerr, good player. Tim Austin amongst it. Mike O'Roydian, very good. O'Riordan is a very good player too. So we'll watch with interest. Henty have got a good deck of players and they may well come this year, but it looks like the Crows at home here. Holbrook Seniors and Jindera. What about this? This is over at Holbrook. Last week they had a bit of COVID going around the green and gold, but Jindera, I think, can win up there.
Mate, this is going to be a pretty close game. I think Holbrook will get a few back from last week, and this will probably arguably be the match of the round. I think this will be a very good game. Jindera are big improvers, good numbers, but I think at home, maybe Holbrook. I mean, they weren't disgraced last week by any means at Osborne. It's always a hard trip going to Osborne, but I think I'm tipping Holbrook to bounce back.
CDHBU play Culcan at Careen. Oh, the power. They have got the power to win. Let's hope that for the Culcan people it's not too powerful, because I think the power can win this game.
I'm with you, Wayne. I think the power at home will be good. They've got a good side. As I said before, they're well coached, well run. Culcan have been big improvers too. So this will be a good test for Culcan. But I just think maybe at home, I think maybe the power will just get up.
And Brock Burham go over to Murray Magpie. Should be too good. No juniors either here for the Brock Burham Saints folk.
No, the Murray Magpies have struggled a bit with juniors this year. I'm actually going down to that game, have a look, see what's going on down there. So have a bit of a look around and see how they're going. So, that should be good. They'll put a side out. They'll be trying their hardest, but I think that Saints will be too strong.
It's round 2 action. It's going to be wet underfoot already. Not even going to get a pre-Easter sunshine to play with. It's moisture falling all around the Hume and also out into parts of the Riverina. And Phil Bouffler, good to talk to you. I can hear the windscreen wipers going in the vehicle. So you have a great day at it, and I'll look forward to catching up with you next week when we review the Hume Footy League.
Good on you. Thank you, Wayne.